Hi guys, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts and welcome. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I want to make these fun just little glassine bags with you guys, and I'll show you how I make them. But as I make them, I want to have a little talk with you guys just about, you know, everybody takes crafting and just life in general like super serious, And honestly, I really like the fact, especially with junk journaling, that, like, say, I got my freezer paper here and I need to dye a bunch of fabrics and stuff like that. So I'm just going to lay my freezer paper out, not even think about it, dye my fabrics, lay them on top of here, and let everything just do what it does. It gets all crinkly, it gets darker, it gets lighter, it just does what it wants to do. And I really honestly think that's how crafting should be. Like, everything doesn't need to be perfect. Everything doesn't need to be in its place. Everything doesn't need to be just meticulously done. Like, I honestly believe about just crafting and art in general that it should just be. Like, how it's going to turn out is how it's going to turn out. And, you like learn a little bit of skills along the way, of course, and see, different ways to do things. But I mean, I made these bags and stuff. They're definitely not even straight or anything like that. And, you can barely see sometimes of the stamping because it's too dark there. But I think that gives it a lot of character. And then looking at it, I was like, I don't even remember how to make these, to be honest with you guys. So I had to open this one up and go, oh, that's how I did it. So, I mean, if you go and watch someone and they're like, man, they're so good and all that, you don't see the behind scenes, where you're just like, I'm half the time going, well, how did I do that? What did I do? And then, might have to go look something or figure something out. And so the point is just kind of just go with it. I think that's the fun part about all this, and just kind of see where it takes you. So I'm just going to cut all this out here and just see how big of bags we want to make. But I'm really just going to kind of go with it and see how it turns out. And, it's just so stressful, like, even in life, where you're just trying to keep up with the Joneses, or, well, this isn't as perfect as theirs is that, it's like comparing and stuff is just not fun in life. And then what do you have? Then you're just an empty shell of bleh. And it's like, I honestly say, if you get one thing from this, is to have fun. And if you're not having fun, then you're doing it wrong. I mean, honestly, that is the one thing that I could think of. Hold on, I did forget something. I'll be right back. Honestly, I'd love to hear in the comments what you guys think of that. Like, do you guys kind of set out doing a project or doing anything and going, okay, it has to be perfect or I'm going to throw it away, or it has to be this or I'm going to not use it, or I don't know. It's just a lot sometimes. Sometimes you just kind of just got to lean back and just go with it. So what do I have here? I have scissors. I have just a rotary cutter. I'll try to remember to put these down below in the links. And then here's just just different kinds of blades on it. I think it comes in a set of 2. I'm going to use some art glitter glue. And like I said, these are just parchment paper or freezer paper that I coffee dyed on top of, and then did some stamping on some of them. So that's a fun little thing you can do. You can take your napkins and just glue those on there with like a water glue solution, and just glue those down onto the freezer paper, which I would do the glossy part, on the opposite side. Just, it'll stick better. But like I said, you learn things along the way. You're not born knowing how to do everything. And for some reason in society, it really is just like perceive that you have to be perfect. And I'm like, I just don't agree with that. I really don't, And these are great to use in projects. Like, keep these little strips. Clusters. Clusters are fun. Actually, I was going to ask you guys about clusters. Comment below. Let me know if you guys want to see a fun just cluster paper video, or I could do clusters with paper or fabrics or anything, or even, some fun dyed like tea bags and rope and napkins. I mean, paper towels. You can find all kinds of stuff just around your house that you can make into a cluster. Okay, so let's see. I really haven't made these for a while. So, okay. So I cut the top. You can see how crooked it is. I cut the top, and then I'm going to just fold it over. And we can fix that too. This is pretty crooked. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I just kind of wanted to pop on and just kind of put that in your guys' ear, you know? I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys think down below of what you think about just, you know, not necessarily just in the art world, but like in general. It's like you just like have to leave the house and you have to be perfect, or you have to do a project and you have to be perfect, or what? I mean, honestly, what's going to happen? Really? But it really is fun to honestly let it go and just let go. And then once you let go, then you realize, oh, okay. I mean, why did I care about that so much? Why does it matter so much? So I'm just trimming the sides. Okay, so we did that. And then here, let's look at our little template. You can see I already, so that part glues down. So once you cut it, we'll be able to have that. So that looks like that. Looks like the template. And then the bottom, maybe let's just fold up a little bit like we want it to do. Okay. And then see that little rectangle it made? I'm going to kind of cut that rectangle out. Da-da-da. I don't know. I just kind of been thinking about it, and you know, of course, before I do a video, I try to think it out and go, well, what is everybody going to want to see? What's going to be perfect? What's going to be the best perfect thing out there? And then you just start kind of going down a rabbit hole, and it's like, if you keep thinking that way and keep thinking like, you know, it has to be lined up perfect, or it has to do this, or it has to, but why? Why does it have to? Why does it have to? And it really is honestly freeing to let it go and just kind of let it go. I mean, really. And then I bet you that when you do let it go, you really are going to create better. Hands down. Hands down. You're going to create so much better because you're not worried about the straight lines. You're not worried about, oh, what color goes with that color, or did I make that straight, or is that going to be perfect, or what are they going to think about it? What does someone else think about it? Who cares? Like, who cares? If you're happy with it and you're having fun, then you're doing it right. That should be the bottom line to all of it. Honestly. And look at that, we made a little bag. Nah, we did it. Okay, so practice, of course, makes perfect, like everybody says. Haha, you know? But what is the definition of perfect? What? I'd love to know, you know? Like, what? Your perfect is different than someone else's perfect, you know? It really is. But yeah, you know, I didn't get on just a rant today, but sometimes you just got to let it out and go, you know, or you will get burned out. You will get burned out because you're like, you have this massive project that you just put so much pressure onto yourself that you're afraid to even like add anything to it or do anything a little bit more, or, you know, because you're worried about something clashing or something not being right, or it's not like just like the video you watched that somebody else did. It's like, what? So anytime I do anything for you guys or have you, you know, show you anything, it's just a kind of a bouncing off point, or it does not need to be like the way I do it, because everybody has their own style, you know? It's just kind of an idea that I give you and you go with it. And it doesn't need to be exactly like mine. Yours doesn't need to be exactly like anybody else's. That's the fun part of being different and being a human being. is being yourself and having your own style. And that is the coolest thing that you could ever do. So I'm not sure, but I hope this did help somebody today. And I would love, love, love to hear from you guys. And if you are enjoying this video, hit the like button. That really does help this get out further. And maybe someone needs to hear this today. Maybe someone's like, I've been working on that for 5 years and it's just sitting there because I'm afraid to touch the project. Or, I don't have the perfect piece of material or perfect piece of paper, or I didn't do that just right to put it into the journal, or whatever you're doing, whatever project you're doing. So, I would love just to hear what you guys really think of this, and how you get through doing projects, and what you think and stuff. But there's a little pouch, so that's not too bad. So that's the template, just like that, and then I fold that part down. What we've been working on here is our chicken junk journal. So I'll make sure to put this in a playlist up in the corner of the screen. You know how that thing, the little card pops out. I'll put the playlist there, and if I don't, it'll be on the end screen or something. But I just want to add this in here to a fun little spot. So this has just been a fun project to work on, and that's upside down. It's upside down. So this is a perfect example. Would you have tore? I almost considered it, because I'm like, well, I'm on camera and I'm videoing this, and oh my gosh, I have to be perfect. But I was like, that gives it character. It gives it character. It's upside down. Life goes on, and you could put something like this right here in the middle of it. I don't like that because it's too busy, but see, then you're thinking, well, that's not perfect. But you can cover this up with something. You could do a little, flip out to kind of do that. If you're worried about it, but like when you're looking through and you're like, oh, okay. Oh, and you're like, oh, wait, that's upside down. But what? Is that wrong? Should it be thrown away? Should it be done and never used again? Or should you have redone the whole thing, even though it messed up with the integrity of all of it? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes things you just got to kind of let go. And there's a perfect example right there. Just let it go. Like, why? What? Am I getting graded on this? I like it. I think it turned out cool. Okay, so I think I'm just going to glue this here, and then we'll have a little pouch. Or you could even do a little flip out if you want, and have it flip out. I think I'm just going to glue it down. So let's just glue this. And if you want, when you do glue it, you can have a pouch behind it, like that, and then you can make it so there's another little pocket to put behind it, just like that. There we go. And let me go grab some pretty little papers, and we can just put these in here and see what it looks like. Found some fun things. I just had like this little tag that I did there. So honestly, give yourselves a pat on the back if you're even attempting to do something different or out of your comfort zone, or where you're not quite sure how to do it, and just don't stress it. That is the biggest thing I would love for you guys to get, is just don't stress it. Have fun with it, and whatever you create is going to be yours. Honestly. Okay, so I'm just taking some pretty paper here. I got some black soot. Okay. And then there's a pocket behind it. You can just do that. A little pocket. So like I said before, if you guys get one thing from this, is to have fun. And if you're not having fun, then you're doing it wrong.